All right, I had some people ask me what I do before a training run or race to get ready. Um, Obviously, I change my clothes, get my running gear on, lube myself up, whatever it might be. Some of the stretches I do is I just go down, touch my toes a couple times. Then I do 6 lunges. I usually do them consecutively, so I keep going with the 6. Um, Sometimes I'll just stand in place and do them, but I just do 6. And then I go back down, touch my toes. The reason why I touch my toes is, to me, it's always been an indicator how my run's going to go. If I can go down and touch my toes right off the bat, I know my legs are loose. I'm probably going to run faster, feel a little bit better. If I can't touch my toes or I struggle, if my legs feel tight as I'm going down, I'll automatically know, at least in my experience, that I'm going to probably have a bad run slower, and be a little tight and sore in general. Usually, that happens after a long race. The next day I'm going out for my recovery run. I might only get to like 2 or 3 inches from the tips of my toes, so then I have to do it, stretch a couple times or do the cheater method, bend my knees to touch my toes, and then I lock my legs back out. But that's a different story. And then just to get my arms going, what I call flappers. I'll touch my hands in the back and the front, just get a little flap going. I saw Michael Phelps used to do this all the time before swimming. And then I usually, for my training runs, it's usually about 1/10 to 2/10 from my house to where I start. So it's a little bit of like a walk, warm up before I even start. And then I go right before I start again, I go and touch my toes, do like a quick little shake out of my legs. And then that's usually when I start my training run. For a race, I do the same routine. I touch my toes, do the 6 lunges, do the arm flapping things, jog around a little bit. I actually jog a little bit before the race, try to get my body loosened up, a little bit warm. If it's cold out, that getting your body warm makes your throat a little bit easier to breathe, the cold air coming in and out, and just getting your blood flowing a little bit. And then I start getting a little what I call the shakes. I shake out all my limbs. I get to go. I really, you know what I mean. So I really do get a good shake. See if I can show you. Like, I'm really throwing my legs around. I don't know if it's good or not to do this, but this is what I do, and it's always helped me stay loose, get loose for a race. So this is why I'm telling everybody. So it might not work for you. It may not. Also, what I say is about my knees. I get like a little, like I swing it out and swing it back in. I sort of ISO, trying to stretch out the knees a little bit, and then my upper thighs and my hip at the same time. So I'm really trying to get like a good ISO going, like almost like sort of flexing or making sure the muscle's tight as I'm doing it. Then I do a couple more shakeouts. I'll even do a little spinning of my wrists, get my neck going a little bit, even get my roll my shoulders, and then work on the core a little bit. Do a little spin action, might even do a little twist. Just trying to get as many muscles a little bit limber and loosened up before I go. And then again, just shaking everything out. You'll see me at the start line, like lifting a leg, or just, shaking everything out at the start line. And that way I'm ready to go as soon as they say start, go, or they blow a whistle, whatever they're doing for that race. But again, you know what I mean? Don't overlook little shoulder leans or like a little swimmer action. And like I said, as I'm always doing, the old, trying to get that core I don't really have a core, but whatever. Trying to get this section of my body ISO'd a little bit. Might even just do like a little, I don't know how to, like, almost, it's hard to explain, but I'm sort of ISOing different muscles. Or I might just go from one side to the other. Obviously, I'm doing a lot more stretches before race because I'm gonna be going harder, faster. So I want things to be looser and primed. Whereas a training run, I only do those few, just because I'm gonna be warming up as I go, and I'm not necessarily working on speed. Now, if I'm gonna do a speed workout, I might throw a couple more exercises in, like more of the core or the shoulders. But if I'm just doing a normal training run at like a lower heart rate, conversation pace, I'm only going to do a couple handfuls, just enough to get my body a little bit limber, because it's going to be an easy run, so I don't necessarily need to be primed the whole time. And then when I'm done, I basically do the same thing. Go down and touch my toes, do a couple lunges, shake it out, and then that's all the stretching I do afterwards. I'm not a big fan of foam rolling or massage guns. Doesn't help me that much in my experience. Massage guns, just every time I use them, they make my muscles more sore. And then foam rolling, I'm not going to lay on the ground rolling out my muscles because it becomes a pain. What I use is a muscle sculptor. So it like pushes everything out, like all the acid buildup, and it makes the muscle straighter. That seems to work the most for me after a run or a hard race. I generally don't do it after a training run unless I really push myself. I just usually let the body recover and keep that inflammation, because I like to have my inflammation at a higher level, always working on repairing itself, at least the way my body works, keeping my inflammation at a high level. I found myself to recover quicker daily than when I do all the stretches and the foam rolling and muscles sculpting and the massage guns. I find like when I do that after a training run or even a race, I feel like it takes me longer to recover than it does when I just let my body recover on its own. So that's why I always have it on the inflammation at a high level. I know people are going to disagree with me and say that's the wrong thinking, but that's the way my body works. I'm saying this, it might work for you, it may not, but the stretches should. I know track athletes do all kinds of ins and outs and jumping all around and all that stuff. As an adult, I'm not going to do that. But those stretches should get you a little bit looser, but do not overlook the importance of walking it out, jogging it out, or even doing a little bit of a sprint action before race just to get your body primed. Nothing is going to help you more than to walk it out, jog it out, or sprint it out a little bit before a race. Even the stretches. It's more important to do those walking and jogging just to get the whole body loose than doing the actual stretches. So people ask me what I do, that's what I do. So my morning routine, I guess I'll add this into as well. I have a sausage, egg, cheese croissant. I eat Great Value kind for breakfast. And then I have like a Body Armor, usually like the peach mango, on my way to a race. And if it's a longer race, then we'll say a 10K, I might throw a Nugo bar in there, get some more protein and stuff like that in me. But that's pretty much my breakfast before every race. It works for me. It's probably not going to work for you unless you get used to it. But I like that early morning breakfast sandwich because it gives me the protein and the carbs. And then I'm hydrating with the Body Armor on the road. I do drink a little bit of green tea while I'm drinking or eating my croissant breakfast sandwich at home. But on the way to the race, I'm using the Body Armor to hydrate. But that's usually my routine before a race. So if you want to try it, try it. If not, so be it. But Again, people ask me what I do, and that's what I do, and it works for me.